Welcome to the Rising Phoenix podcast. I am your host, Navjot Dhaliwal, aka Metaphysical_Goddess. And this podcast is truly a space where we talk about transformation, healing, creating the life that you desire. And the twist in this is going to be that we're going to talk about transformation in the rawest and realest form, because the process of it is rarely pretty and it's not as fluffy as those spiritual memes that we repost on Instagram. It is actually going into the depths of your psyche, of your spirit, and being able to clear out what no longer serves you. It is a deep process that is extremely rewarding at the end. So today we have a very special guest, Pritesh Shah.
What's up?
This
is
Every
awesome.
time I have a conversation with this guy, with this man,
Yeah.
it ends up going into so many different directions. And one thing that I feel like you and I talk about so well is calling forward this coaching spiritual guru industry. And as two brown people, I think that this really needs to be out there. So super excited. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. First of all, I'm really proud of you. This is awesome. It's comfortable. I've never sat and done an interview where I have a pillow to rest. Like, this is, I'm feeling mad comfortable right now. Yeah, but this is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I know that we're going to go into so many different things. I don't even know where to start, but the first thing that's coming to mind is I've been a yoga teacher, right?
Yeah.
Since 2017. I've gone to yoga festivals where in the West, and I'm typically the only brown person there at hundreds of people, right? And there's something to be said about that. And I know you and I have talked about this before. It's like the mispronunciation of our mantras, the mispronunciation of the word chakra.
First of all, it's mantras and chakras.
Chakras.
Okay. Yeah. Namaste. Thank you. Namaste. Well, it's funny when you say that. I still laugh when you even say yoga festival, because you're just taking that term. It's not a yoga festival. It's like it should be titled like Lululemon Festival. Why? And I get it. I'm not sitting here like I'm mad offended. Like, that's not going to do anything either. It's just kind of like, okay, what's the point of this? What's the purpose of what you're doing? And we actually I had this girl Mayuri on. I don't know if you met her, but she does this anti-yogi one woman show, and she was on our podcast, the Kama Sutra, and we spoke a lot about this as well, because she's so trained. She takes it very seriously, right? And we're talking about the westernization of it. And one is they conflate poses to that's all yoga is, which to me is like saying basketball is just being able to bounce the ball. Yeah. It's a very complicated game, actually. And same with yoga. It's like the asanas are a part of yoga. That's it. They're a part of it. They're not all of it. And so if you're gonna use that term and then understand what it encompasses, right? It's just it's bastardizing it, right? It's just like people thinking that aren't actors. They think acting is memorizing lines. That's the last thing you do.
Right.
That's literally the last thing you need to worry about is lines. That's once you have character, context, you've gone into the deep levels of everything that's happening. That takes all the work.
Right.
Lines is easy once you do that. So I don't know. I think, and we'll get into it later, but you're seeing what's coming out of that scene is a lot of this like narcissistic, self-righteous, false empowerment coaches. It's me. And it's kind of nice to see. I don't like using the word backlash necessarily, because I feel like that gets into a whole nother negative thing, but it's nice to see some truth come out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. And I almost feel like the truth is coming out so strong right now.
Yeah.
Right? Because obviously, like, I study energy, right? So like if the darkness is rising, the light like starts to rise within us, right?
Yeah.
Like, I could have probably had this conversation years ago. I'm sure you and I have, like, over coffee,
probably
right?
a lot more angry back then too. Honestly, I probably would have been a lot more like,
projecting. Yeah.
Well, because sometimes you go like, and not saying I'm Mr. Authentic, I've definitely gone through my illusions. I'm sure more stuff will shed.
Yeah.
By the time you're just like, why are the people being honest and truthful not rising? Yeah. Like, why are they not giving the platform to be seen? And I realize a lot of it's because the energy is going to connect with the energy it wants to connect to, and the vast majority of society is operating at a certain level. They're going to operate on that, right? It's like we can sit here and talk all day about materialism and how it's just a toy and something to enjoy, but it's not who you are. But if the energy of most people consciously is so attached to it, of course they're gonna fall for all the advertising. Of course they're gonna push all the, you're like, how are these people pushing the same supplements? And this, every celebrity has a cologne or a perfume, or how is everyone doing it?
Yeah.
And they all are, and making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because that's the energy of the people.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Absolutely. And that just made me think about like even yoga being so focused on the poses, on the asanas, right?
Downward dog.
That's the, yeah, downward dog. I can stand on my head. I
Yeah.
am a yogi. Please don't talk to me.
Exactly.
Unless you can stand on your head too, then we can be friends and walk around Santa Monica.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, because it's like the asana is like totally the last thing, right?
Yes.
It's just goes to show how much inner work that person has done. And, you know, there's this concept of like yoga off the mat, right? Because there's so many other limbs, not just the one limb of asana. And you're absolutely right. I never heard it like put that way. It's like the energy of the world is going to be more in that material sense, especially here in America. So of course they're going to focus more on Lululemon. I mean, I have aloe yoga on, but it's like I don't.
Yoga's comfortable.
Yeah, I don't consider
like
this.
that.
The thing is, don't call it yoga wear, call it fashion, right?
It's just fashion, like workout wear.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing wrong with that. I understand their marketing, but see, the marketing shows you what people think it is.
Yeah.
And I am not one of those people that use the word cultural appropriation based on race. That's just racist.
Yeah.
So this whole nonsense now, like you can't wear a sombrero unless you're Mexican. That's nonsense. But you should respect it. You should know where it comes from.
Yeah.
You should have like some level of, you know, wanting to learn about it, some curiosity, maybe. Fine.
Yeah.
So I don't use the word cultural appropriation like, oh, if you're white or black, you can't do yoga. That's insane. And that's incredibly racist.
Yeah.
But if you're going to participate in this, learn it.
Know where it's from.
Know where it's from.
Exactly.
That's it. And have some level of reverence and respect for it. Especially, it's not just like a random thing. It's a tens of thousands of years old. Anyway, 15,000 as far as we look at it, of like a science. They call it yogic science, right? And whether that's you agree with that or not isn't important as much as that's where it stems from. That's where the story stems from. That's the meaning it has for people. And that goes with religion too. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. It's like, have some level of respect. Even if you completely disagree, you can have that conversation from respect.
Yeah.
And I think it's just that this has been taken over, yoga, and just turned into full marketing and materialism by Indian people too, though. Okay, it's not just non-Indian. It's not like every Indian person has some reverence for it. Yeah. They've also capitalized on it, and it's almost easier to capitalize it. Hey, look at me, I'm brown. Literally, I have not studied yoga. I've done a lot of parts of it, but I haven't studied like you have, especially asanas. I haven't. I could easily go and start a channel right now and just do this and and I would have probably a pretty big following just because I'm an Indian guy.
Well, yeah.
And they're going to assume that based on my color, that I am somehow authentic, which is also racist. But
it is. You would be so surprised when I went to that yoga festival because my name was actually my born name was Navjot. It's not like
yeah, white people change it to that. Oh my God, Rachel, but I got rebranded. My name's Navjot. Went to India. It was just I just felt it here. I'm like,
half of them didn't even go to India and they changed their name.
I felt it here. I'm like, do you know what I feel here? You're a fucking idiot. I felt that right here. You're dumb. You're really dumb. I felt that.
Telling it as it is, people. Rising Phoenix podcast, welcome. So I totally agree with that because I think the cultural appropriation thing has gotten so far in the sense where even brown people are like exactly like they're getting really out there outside of truth, right? Because you're totally right. Black people can practice yoga. White people can practice yoga, right? But let's start to bring truth back into this conversation because I went to classes at Core Power back in the day. I went to like 1 or 2. I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot, right? It's a branded studio, you know, it was in Santa Monica, it was close by. I went and they were screaming at us to breathe. There was weights involved. And I was like, just call this a workout class.
It's a great workout class.
Don't call it yoga.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's a great workout class.
Yeah.
It is. Like, if it works for you, awesome. But like you said, they market something that's not even truth. Yeah. Like, India doesn't have hot yoga. It's called doing yoga outside, bitch.
In the
It's
humidity.
hot.
It's
Okay,
hot.
that's all it is. That's our hot. The fact that people are gonna use that term, they're like, I'm gonna do beer yoga, donkey yoga, puppy yoga. Look, I love puppies as much as anyone. They're the cutest things on the planet. Maybe not doing yoga. Like the that just drives me nuts.
It drives me nuts. Just call it stretching with your dog.
And that I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'm down for stretching with my dog.
Drink beer and stretch.
But yoga is like it's a, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you know more than me, but it's not asanas, and the point of the asanas is to get you out of your monkey mind anyway. That's why they say shavasana is the hardest pose. You're not doing anything. Can you be focused on the, and it's the way you think, it's what you eat, it's what you put in your body, it's how you converse, it's how you sit, it's everything. It's not even like when people call it, do you know what drives me nuts? When people say they're a yogi in their bios, I almost slap the shit out of them. Yeah. You're not a yogi. Like a person in India, they'll study under a guru for 8, 9, 10 years to even be considered a yogi. And guess what? They don't have an ego, so they don't call themselves that.
Absolutely.
Other people refer to them
Absolutely.
as a yogi. And to sit here and be like, you took yoga training, which I don't even know what that is, but you take yoga training and you say you're a freaking yogi is ridiculous. Stop that. Just stop that. Yeah. And so what's happening is that it's feeding their ego. Because all these titles they're taking on. The point of it is no titles. Yeah. The point of it is shedding. Yeah. But you're taking on, I'm this, I'm the instructor. I do this, I do that, I do this. And even if you do that, why are you leading with it so much, right? And it's like not even having, it's how you think too. It's not like we talked before. Yeah. Are you heart-centered or mind-centered? Because it's like you can do all this stuff, but you're warped. I don't care how much you know about yoga. I don't care how much you know about meditation and breath work and journaling and all that stuff. You can do all of that and be really shitty because knowing doesn't mean you integrated it. Knowing is just knowing. That doesn't mean wisdom. Yeah. There's people that are 400 pounds that know they need to lose weight. They have self-awareness, but they still eat shitty food. Mm-hmm. So what happened with the knowing? There's no wisdom. Right. So people give a lot of applause to intellectualization. They give a lot of applause to people who can say the right things and are well-spoken. But we should be really looking for people who integrate. Mm-hmm. And actually embody it, right? When you think about the word yoga, it stems from the Sanskrit, the word yog, which means union. And most people, it's much easier. It's very human, right? To take that and be like, oh, I'm a yogi, which technically you're basically letting people know that you live in union, but you're not living in union. I don't even call myself a yogi. I say I'm a yoga teacher and a yoga student always, because you're always a student. Girl, I was about if to you're honk a teacher 3 times with the car in front of me at the stop sign because it's too like I'm not. I wanted to whoop his ass. Like I'm not a yogi, okay? Like even that came. I was like, yo, will you go? Go. You weren't a yogi. You were yo go. Yeah, I was like, yo, go, yo. Like what the? And like that was not a yogic way of being because even that's a violent thought almost. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. And so people aren't taking that energy flows. That's the thing. You see it, like you said, you can look in people's eyes and be like, something's up. And you really know it because the real ones, even Sadhguru, who's like so evolved. Yeah. He's authentic and real. He jokes. Yeah. It's fun. There's an authenticity to him. You still see him in his human form and you still don't see him being fake. Yeah. What you see a lot with people in that world who are not even close to that level of conscious evolution is be so nice, but it's so fake. That's an act. Yeah. And it's just this proper way of like, it's like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't have sex, I'm absent and all this stuff. But you cannot do all those things. I commend all of that, but where's it coming from? And I feel like a lot of it's just coming from your ego. It's not really coming from the cleansing part. So how is it helping you? Yeah. I trust the person who drinks and is more real than you because it's just your ego. Look at how good I am. Catch up to me. I meditate 3 hours a day and I fast. Do you? Right. And it's like, no, absolutely 100%. This is so important. And I love where this conversation is going because I feel that when and I probably
I don't know if I was ever like that to that extreme, but you know, it's like you start to get into this world, right? I know that you're into higher consciousness. I know
Yeah.
you read, I know you understand, you want to. You're a seeker like me, right? And so
But I left those people.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a difference between
Yeah.
that though and that personal relationship you have with God versus the act of it. And I feel that when you first start reading these concepts, like, yeah, you can go ahead in any religious text, you can go and look, especially in Eastern philosophy, right? Like, we're all one, right?
Mhm.
God is within everything.
Mhm.
You can take that we're all one, and then what the New Age has done with it has been like, oh, this is the love and light movement. So any sort of dark emotion, let me just suppress,
Good vibes
suppress.
only.
Good vibes only. Let me be nice and not kind and honest, right? Like,
It's
basically,
just repression.
yeah.
Nonstop repression.
And none of those people have healthy relationships.
But you can't.
You
Because how
can't.
can you be a repressed person? The thing is, like, repressed energy is like a spring. It does this. Eventually it has to explode. I don't know how, and they might not know how. But those are the ones we talk about with the skeletons in their closet.
Yeah.
And it's like people like, for example, like Aubrey Marcus,
Yeah.
that whole situation. I don't know the guy personally. I've seen one interview of him. I know he's pretty big and popular. I don't know much of him personally. I've never listened to him much. I just was kind of like, why is he getting so much crap right now? And then we talked about it. And he's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's married. Happily married, he said. And then he said the goddess Isis came to him in a dream or something to tell him to impregnate another girl.
Yeah, he wasn't even dreaming. He was like walking through a temple in Egypt or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, goddess Isis. And then
Yeah.
he downloaded Raya. It was the first girl he matched with, who's like this 28-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And now she's like part of this thruple, it seems like.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, one, if it was super conscious, if it was actually coming from a conscious place, your wife would have been fully invested in this situation. She's not, because you're connected to the person, right?
Yeah.
So there's already a misstep here. Secondly, everything about it from all aspects is full out ego.
Full out.
And what's happened is he's a prime example of what you see. Is it really about that, or is it about the packaging? It's the sell. It's this idea. How come all these new age people are so obsessed with open relationships and polyamory? When this take off? No guru, and I use the word guru lightly because in America they don't take guru seriously.
No, they
a
don't.
real guru,
Yeah.
a real guru in
Yeah.
India, the guy who doesn't have Instagram. Okay, a guy you can't just Wikipedia. A real one who lives in the temple, has been meditating 10 hours a day for like decades. Okay, a real guru. None of them talk about open relationships. None of them talk about. They talk about divine unity, which
And
is
open relationships being the way to higher consciousness,
It's
because that's what
complete
these
nonsense.
narcissistic
Yeah, it's
people
complete
think.
nonsense, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's actually not respecting the unity of the body and the connection. Because the point is, sex and connection, intimacy is so sacred that even to share with one person has to be such a conscious choice.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. It's so sacred that even for me to share it with this one person, what a choice and like it's a karmic envelopment.
Yeah.
Like I'm enveloped with you now,
Yeah.
and I've made this we are one, literally. So what they're saying goes against all of that, because now I'm
Yeah.
freely giving away this connection. I don't like giving away. It's not like it's not in a charitable way. You're loosely and misinterpreting your conscious energy and just sharing it with people. Now you're taking on and giving away everything.
Yeah.
You have a lot of tethers.
Extremely leaky.
Well, yeah, in many ways. No pun intended. But Sadhguru says it's like, it's not even about judgment.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go higher consciousness, the real thing is like to have the least amount of tethers. Just look at it that way. You get to decide how many tethers do you want.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's a choice.
Yeah.
But to think that you're going to have all these tethers and energetic cords and somehow you're going to be able to rise and be free. Imagine then the cords that's holding you down. That's a lot of work to do. Yeah. I've done cord cutting ceremonies with an ex and it took a long time. So imagine to be in a room and have an orgy and you're doing that with like 10 people in a day. The cords that you're creating with people. Yeah. And how much escapism is going on here. How much addiction and devaluation of your own energies. It's honestly really sad when I witness it, and I don't see people that are actually this whole ethically non-monogamous. It's like Like, how many titles do we need for people to not feel shame?
Yeah.
Like, bring shame back, please. Like, what happened to look in the mirror and be like, I think I'm a piece of shit today? Like,
Yeah.
that's actually good compass,
Yeah.
right? Like, if you cheat on your partner or you steal, whatever, you should look in the mirror and not feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
But these people are saying you should never feel that.
Yeah. Just forgive
So
yourself,
forgive
accept
yourself.
me, validate me.
It's the
Yeah.
most narcissistic me thing. It's like, no, you should look in the mirror. That I remember when we were kids and we did something stupid. You steal something, you argue with your parents, you whatever, right?
Yeah.
You remember you look in the mirror like you didn't like making eye contact. You felt like shit about yourself.
Yeah.
Even if I got really bad grade or I didn't study hard, I had shame. I didn't like seeing myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's bad if you don't process it.
Right.
But if you look in the mirror and go, I don't like myself.
Yeah.
I can't believe I did that.
Right.
That's a good sign. That's your body and your soul telling you, yeah, let's fix this.
Yeah.
This isn't healthy.
Mm.
And all these people are teaching, a lot of them, I don't want to say all, is, oh, that's you judging yourself. And
Yeah.
that's what we tell people too. You can do horrendous shit and then you tell someone, don't judge me. I'm like, I did.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay too. Judgment, I can judge a behavior. I don't have to
Yeah.
judge your soul.
Yeah, and that's
Right?
where discernment's getting lost in the industry in
Yeah.
this wave. And it's so important because now it's not just the industry, right? Like I got my psych degree and started my own spiritual journey through almost like leaving a freaking toxic abusive relationship 13 years ago. You know, it was like very deep work that I was doing. And it was rare to be like doing that back then, but now it's like this, it's like so trending now to heal. And so that's why it's really important to talk about this, because the discernment is getting lost in
They're
this
making
isn't
it,
some
yeah.
fluffy thing. Like you have to face your trauma. You have to look in the mirror and be like, oh my God, I accepted so much bull crap. I was with a narcissist. I, had no self-worth, right? I had to like sit with all those parts of me, learn how to love them, right?
Yeah.
And actually now attract healthy relationships, because it's like I became healthy myself, and that's now my new mirror, right? That's my new standard. But I think a lot of people, they just want to bypass. A lot of people want to not feel their emotions. Like you said, don't suppress your shame, but like feel it, process it, understand it, right? Psychopaths are the ones that don't have the part in their brain
They feel no
that
shame.
can't access guilt or shame,
Yeah.
right? And we don't want that. We don't want
Not
that,
at
especially
all.
with the spiritual guys on top of it. I always say spiritual ego is almost worse than somebody who is unaware and
I'd
completely
rather hang out with
unconscious.
someone unaware all day
Me too.
than someone with like that.
Me too.
Because they're actually more damaging, right? In a way. Because it's a power play.
It is.
Right? It's the same issue when we have like a pastor at a church abusing children, right? Because it's a complete power play and you're using God's name in a way to abuse someone, right?
Yeah.
Like how disgusting is that, right? Same thing when you see like a Boy Scout leader doing, these are impressionable children, and you're using this thing of unity and being one and community and kids hanging in, like you're just taking advantage, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole different conversation we could get into, but with what we do with children. But like, it's just this idea that I wanted to say, you talked about healing.
Yeah.
It's also trying to be addicted to healing.
Yeah.
And that's a huge problem, where that's the bypassing part. You don't live.
You don't let yourself be human
at all.
Yeah.
You don't live. So now it's almost like it's good because I don't hang out with anybody. I don't go eat at restaurant. I don't do any of that.
I'm so holy.
I'm so holy. I don't go there. I don't do this. I don't do that. But then you're missing out on life.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you have to go drink and do drugs. I don't do that stuff really. But I drink once in a while. Consciously. I mean, I had 3 last night and it was a wreck this morning. I mean, I had this business meeting, that guy like pounding him back. He's like, another round. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this is delicious, but I'm good now.
Yeah.
But, I'm not judging myself for it.
Yeah.
I'm not worse for it. I did it once in a while, whatever.
Right.
But it's this idea is like, then you get addicted to the fact that you don't even want to be here. Yeah. And then it's like, how much you're really getting shame for humanity. I think that's I do feel the shame for just being human, and that's a problem too.
Huge problem, because
Right.
God wanted to experience being human through all of us.
Why we're
And
here?
why would we be here? He doesn't make any mistakes, every little piece of us, right? And I feel that I even got a little caught up in that, but I started to feel the texture of it, of when that felt wrong, when I started getting addicted to healing. Because what started to happen is, you start to, again, back to the narcissism that you're saying, you start to think that you are God. So it's like,
That's
oh,
well
I
said.
am God. And this is where all the new age stuff is going. It's like, oh, I am God. I'm the one that's manifesting everything. Not like you're co-creating with like the actual energy that created this entire universe. Right. And it's like that gets put aside and people are actually afraid to even say the G word because they just want to say the universe. Because when you say God, there's actually like a discernment that comes with it.
That's a good
And
point.
yeah,
I mean,
like,
you spoke about this on the Kama Sutra too, and I
yeah.
like that point a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not self-serving. Yes, it's your desires, but still God's will over your life. But like you work with that energy, right? Because exactly, you drink, you enjoy yourself. I used to smoke weed all the time. Like, but the thing is, that's my thing all the time, right? So when was I numbing and
It
when was
was
I
using
doing
you.
it? It was using
Not you
me.
weren't using it. Yeah.
Exactly. And so the same thing can happen with yoga. Are you
That's a good point.
are you doing it or healing? Are you healing because you're addicted to healing?
Because you
Or
actually
are
can't sit.
you can't sit.
So it's like it's still you just made me give me an aha moment. It's still a form of escapism.
Yeah.
Because it's just like if I can't sit here and just stare and be okay with being, I have to go to yoga.
Yeah.
Then it's owning you too. You're not healing. It's an escape mechanism. Same with anything.
Yeah.
Then you have to wonder energetically, yeah, it's probably better than drinking and smoking, fine, but it's still an escape mechanism.
It is.
And it's still fueling the ego, and that goes into the I am stuff, right? Because why do we always say I am ... Because you're not supposed to take on so many identities. With the spiritual ego, all these identities, the new naming of yourself,
Yeah.
this, and like calling yourself a guru, and then creating a brand, selling products. It's like, well, you're just commercializing the same thing. I'm not mad at it. Just say that's what it is, though.
Yeah.
Just say that's what it is.
Be truthful.
Just be truthful.
Yeah.
Because I always say, if you want to know the truth, look to historical figures. Look at Jesus, look at Buddha, look at Krishna, look at all these old sages, right? Tell me which ones talked about polyamory.
None.
Even tantra, which has been you're talking about misinterpretation. That's tantra.
Well,
That is not an orgy, by the way.
yeah.
Tantra was never meant to be an orgy party. I know. I'm sorry, people.
Well, I lived in Mexico, right? Where everybody's calling themselves a shaman. And
Tantric.
to be a shaman, you have to also, same thing with a yogi, be trained for over like 20 years to serve plant medicines for the purpose of healing everybody. They're not meant to be used every other weekend. You can't just do ayahuasca every other
really hard on your
weekend.
nervous system.
It's so hard on your nervous system. And they were having sex parties in Tulum, and it's still going on there. That's why you go to Tulum, spiritual place, but you go there, they've pushed all the Mayan people out. They've commercialized all the spirituality. They're having sex parties with names of conscious sensuality. And it's literally just orgies, and they're calling it tantra. And that's my biggest pet peeve. My blood is boiling talking about it because that is the absolute opposite of tantra and what that is. And tantra doesn't even have to do with another person before it has to do with the union within yourself.
It's actually overcoming sexual energy.
Yes.
It's actually not it. That's succumbing to it.
Yes.
Tantra was in the using that energy to consciously go beyond. And the actual tantric energy, that blissful energy we associate, is that connection to God.
Yes.
You're not so laden back by this chakra.
Yeah.
And people have somehow misinterpreted to validate all this BS. And it's so interesting because you hear these people talk, you can't even have a conversation with them. I know a lot of them. I've had so many girls in these communities hit on me too, honestly. But it's really hard to have a conversation with them because it's like they're so played into this. So they think I'm judgmental and I'm closed off. That's what they've also convinced themselves. Yeah. And fine, you're allowed to have that opinion of me. Fine. Okay. But like, to me, I don't find give me a rational place where we can have this conversation. And they usually they end it with, you're just judgmental, or, because there's no rational place. Because you tell me you can't it's hard enough to keep a sacred relationship with one person. The triggers, the pains, everything that brings up,
the childhood trauma,
all the trauma that gets brought up in a relationship in the mirror. And to think that one's not enough is crazy.
Yeah.
And then to also think it is true that one person cannot fulfill all your needs. But why is the word needs associated with sex? I mean, Esther Perel says it beautifully. The reason polyamory is taken off is actually not because of sex. It's because we lack community. Yeah. And so polyamory is taken off because people want to be around other people. Not everyone's you can't expect your wife to be, blow your mind in bed, be your partner, be a parent, a person you work
Therapist.
out with. You gotta have different, but when you have community, you have that. But when we say he or she doesn't fulfill my needs, it's always sexual based.
Yeah.
How about this person doesn't fulfill my needs like sports wise, or this person doesn't fulfill my needs like to converse or so. Yeah, I have friends for that too. I don't expect my partner to do all those things. I have friends to go to the gym with. I have friends to have different conversations, do hobbies with. I don't expect my partner to have to play tennis or golf with me. So I have different things in my life that fulfill me, my other needs, you could say, right? Yet they've conflated this and they think it's like, well, I just need like 6 people to suck my dick. What?
Yeah.
It's unreal.
It's unreal.
In the mental gymnastics these people play with themselves.
Yeah.
They write very eloquently. They write beautiful articles and paragraphs and very knowing. And I've studied this. And this is a very modern thing about marriage. And it's like we've all been people have done whatever they've wanted. I'm not saying that monogamy means you're like some ethically superior person by any means. But if we're just going to go down to the fact that there's germa, there's tethers, and you connect. A woman's body is sacred. We're all sacred, but a woman's body is very sacred with the womb. You're entering the womb. You tell me how you can let so many men enter your womb and there's not spiritual consequences.
Right.
This is not shaming stuff. This is all like, you're slut shaming and all this type of stuff. Well, most people that do that do feel shame. I don't need to do it for them.
Yeah.
They can say they don't, but they do. You talk to porn stars that have retired. You talk to people that did that type of work. Most of them have had severe trauma.
It doesn't feel good. Like your body can give you that wisdom just by if you're real and honest with yourself. It doesn't feel good.
No, you don't. Yeah. You feel trashy. Similar to when I woke up this morning, my body said, don't do that again. It doesn't feel good. Right? It's very simple. I woke up, I was like, I'm not even like crazy hungover or anything. I'm just like, I feel groggy. Yeah. I don't feel focused. I don't feel excited for the day. And usually I'm like this in the morning, like, hey, let's get the day started. Let's go to the gym. I'm like super stoked, right? I'm that annoying morning guy. And I was
seem like you'd be really annoying in the morning. I'm very annoying.
Like,
I'm really annoying in the mornings too.
Yeah, I'm like too happy and everyone's just like, dude, what is, like, at least shut up, right? But like all that went away. So it's just simple thing from drinking. It's like, that was my course correction. Yeah. I'm not going to do that again.
But that just goes to show how disconnected everyone is, right? From their body, mind, soul. That coherence is not there.
That's fair.
And I think when people, and we'll see it with people that say they're conscious, right? And people that are unconscious. But like I said, I'd rather hang out with the people that are unconscious at this point, right? Like all the people that don't understand that, only because if you understand it, there is a responsibility then to be connected, but they're all disconnected.
Well,
and it's insane.
For sex parties.
They're going to Tulum for sex parties. They're regurgitating mantras. They're reading all these books. They're thinking that they are Jesus, that they are here to save everybody. So they're putting on that guise, right? Rather than really, really understanding that, hey, I'm human. These things are okay to do once in a while. But exactly like you said, there's this very, very big disconnect. And so,
and they also, well, it's also like they focus so much on sex in romantic relationships.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those aren't big parts of the human journey. Right. And it's on people's minds. I get all that. But if you're doing the conscious work, there's a lot more conversation to be had than those two things. One, I really still am confused of why it becomes so much about sex.
Yeah. I
understand a lot of people grew up in sexual repressed environments. I do feel like a lot of people have sexual trauma that they try to rationalize by making it not a big deal. I've seen that, and that hurts for me, that you've gone through that trauma and now what you're trying to do is lessen this act doesn't have much, so who cares, because now you've just made it a commodity anyway. But inside you're hurting a lot.
Whether it's numbed out after so long that you've made it seem like it's just an act, or it's something that you're just feeling, but you're not letting yourself fully feel it. It's like,
Well, have you seen the documentary After Porn Ends?
No.
Highly suggest it. There's like 2 or 3 of them. I think they're on Netflix. I forgot what I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
It changed my life.
Wow.
And not my life like that. Like it just saddened me. and you saw what a lot of these girls had gone and been through. And I tell my friends to watch it so they don't watch porn anymore. I basically sent it to a lot of my friends. I'm like, dude, this is what you're supporting.
Yeah.
Right? This girl's raped.
Yeah.
She was like almost trafficked or whatever it may be. You hear all these stories, and then you're jerking off to that.
Yeah.
That's dirty, man.
That's
Yeah.
such an energetic mismatch, and you don't really realize
Mm-mm.
what that's doing, because in the moment you think it's just about getting off, but it's like not. It's so much deeper, because like you just said, what are you supporting?
What lives in your head?
Yeah.
It really messes men up. It messes everyone up, but really
Mm.
messes men up. And so what happens is people go, well, I'm not cheating. I'm not physical with other people. I'm not even saying it's cheating. I'm not putting labels on it. I'm just saying, but what's happening is when you're with your partner, those images on screen are in your head. So you're actually not
Mm.
present with your partner. They'll do studies on it. So you're actually
Yeah.
imagining the girl on screen doing that to you, or you're not fully present to what's happening in this experience with each other because you have
Right.
all these tethers.
Yeah.
That's why traditionally I got the point. I'm not saying by no means are most people virgins now when they get married. We've changed all that. So that's okay.
Mm.
But imagine if you were with your partner and you were both virgins. There's no tethers there.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I
And
can
it's the
imagine how
principle of that.
magical. Like there,
Yeah.
I do kind of have like a jealousy. Like,
Yeah.
damn, that would have been. As a grown man now and having enough experiences, you just kind of go like, damn, I wouldn't have mind being a virgin and getting married to my wife who was also a virgin. Like, I'm not saying that's better than or anything. I'm just saying like, well, you just don't have any other tethers.
Yeah.
And
You
like,
know what's wild that you say that? I've had that thought too, of like, I wish that I had waited.
yeah,
And I think that when we go back now, because we're not shaming, we're not going in like the
no.
really strict religious
Well,
sense of that.
I was
Yeah.
not some angel by
Yeah.
any means. I'm
No.
not trying to pretend or act as such.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about what I've realized now.
And the
Yeah.
principle behind it, right? So if you
Yeah.
think about it, let's take the religion and the humanness and what humans have done to religion like out of it. All these ancient texts, there's a reason why God was channeling through, and it was written, right? To wait, right? To wait until you have that union energetically, the tethers, right? Physically for your body as
But all
well.
belief systems kind of say the same thing.
They do.
with that,
They
yeah,
do
yeah.
around being a virgin, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you're married. And like, God forbid, this conversation is probably triggering a lot of people right now, because it's like, God forbid you say that in this day and age, but
Well,
really
because
look at
everyone
the
has
truth.
but ask people why.
Yeah.
Because you and I aren't, but we're not getting as triggered because there's so much internal shame for people that they
Yeah.
haven't come to terms with. So then they get
Yeah.
triggered and they go, how dare you? You're trying to say I didn't say any of those things.
Yeah.
You created that story based on my statement.
Yeah.
Because I made it clear that I'm not preaching like I am.
Yeah.
If I'm a virgin still, fine.
Yeah.
That might be my own ego speaking.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not married. So I'm saying, and you're saying, that when you practice it, you realize I say it like it's like eating dirty and when you eat clean.
Yeah.
You eat clean, you feel good.
Yeah.
You wake up, you're not bloated. You know, your stomach doesn't hurt. Your body's actually like hurts or whatever it may be. You eat clean and you just feel light.
Yeah.
And I think the more conscious work you do, there is this idea of spiritual weight, like you feel light.
Yes.
And I like to wake up and go, do I feel heavy and drawn out? Because something needs to be dealt with. When I feel either I'm sad, something's bothering me, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with feeling that, but I got to process stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's similar. It's like if you're behaving in those ways, I think there's a heaviness I see people carry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think like once we're having this conversation even about like, obviously there's no shame, like we're not virgins, but like we wish we would have waited. Right now we see all of that. And I saw this once like written somewhere where it was like, it's interesting when you grow up and you're in your 30s and you're like, oh, all those things that mom and dad said were actually right. Like,
They're
you know,
right,
go to
yeah.
sleep on time, you know, don't drink too much, like eat clean, don't have sex, you know, until you're married, like until you
Yeah.
found like the person. And it's like interesting to me that people, and there's no shame around this if you're there, but just be aware of it. Like, you're in your 30s and you're still drinking like how you used to when you're in your 20s. You're still fucking the way you used to fuck when you were in your 20s. You're still doing all those things, right? And you might even be in the spiritual community doing all of that, right? But just notice that, because if you go to the depths of it, truth at the end of the day is going to cut through all of that bullshit. And exactly, if we just look at all these religious texts and if we look at God, if that was the principle of how the best way to live, right, is to wait, then why not like embrace that principle, even though like we're not, right?
But even if you, let's say you don't wait,
Yeah.
I think the point of it is, and the learning from it is that
Yeah.
there's something that's sacred about it.
Sacred.
So if you operate it from that perspective and you don't like, and this is for men and women.
Yeah.
I don't say this like it goes both ways, but I do feel from everything I've read and everything I've learned is that it's a deeper experience for a woman. It does.
It is.
And they've even done the studies of like how, like for example, and this can get this could be a little triggering, but like how women when they get raped, it's a way deeper of an experience and a trauma than the men who have been raped in jail. They're definitely impacted, and there's trauma. I mean, it's traumatic for everyone.
Yeah.
But there's a deeper experience for a woman when they've done the studies.
Yeah.
Compared to men.
Well, it's our womb, right?
It's the womb entrance, right? And that's also where like the feminine will take in energy. She takes it. The man's giving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I love what you just said, right? Because it's not about, people like to look at the surface level of this, right? Oh, wow, what are they saying? Like, you know, they're not virgins, but then now they're saying they wish, you know, it's not about that. This is why I'm tying it back in, because we're almost finished with time too, back into the Phoenix conversation. So the reason why I'm like big on the rising Phoenix and that what it represents, right, is death and rebirth, right? It's like we get reborn when we do this transformational work. And that's when we realize it's not like literally, let me go back in time and not ever drink, not ever, let me change my name and just act like I'm a virgin now. No, it's about now learning, right? Learning and integrating the new principles into your life, like the old principles back into your life in a new way. And that's really what I feel like we've done. Because this sounds like that's been your, and this was the last question I was going to ask you is what's your rising Phoenix story? What do you feel like you've transformed the most in your life?
I mean, I think it's the conversation we're having now.
Yeah.
It's was always searching for validation, especially from people, women, and even in being in this business. It like constantly makes you feel like you're worthless until something's happening, right? And then when you start getting your own barometer, you become a lot more, I think I've changed a lot since we've even met. I'm a lot more grounded, more calm. I can still turn it on when I'm doing stand-up or I'm performing, but I just don't need to be on all the time because I'm just more cool with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that goes it too, is there's a lot of part about sex it's so validation seeking. I see so many of my guy friends fall into that. I'm like, dude, you're almost 40 years old and you're still in this chasing lust. It's not about the act of being, it's like, but you're still chasing lust, this short-term consistent need for validation, but you've convinced yourself that, oh, that's just how I am, or you know, all these because we just love, in this city it's like just full of excuses. The West is just, it's never fixing my bullshit, it's finding excuses because my therapist said I'm valid, you know, because we have like toxic therapy now where it's just me. And the world isn't always about you. Sometimes the relationship needs to take precedent, your children, sometimes your partner needs to take precedent. And I get the pendulum swing because in our parents it was toxic. You never got to express your side. It was just whatever needs to be done. So I get that. So now it's like, no, what you feel does matter. Yeah, but not 100% of the time. No, it doesn't. Sometimes I feel a certain way, but it's not about me.
Yeah. The over-validation thing is so big. And I always tell my clients, I'm like, I'm going to validate your emotions because they're valid to your experience, but they're not ultimate truth, right? So that is the most important thing.
Well, have you heard Gabor Mate's quote? He says, your emotions aren't real. They're just an illusion of a past that no longer exists.
Exactly. And they're just replaying that past.
Feelings are real. Yeah. Feelings are in the moment.
Right.
But emotions are built upon experiences which are not actually happening.
Right. Yeah. And it's so important to do this work to clear that.
Yeah.
To clear that out, clear that karma. It's really
important to clear your chakras.
Clear your chakras, clear your karma. Yeah. As if it's so easy. You could just, clear your karma by going to one retreat.
Charge your crystals, change your name, go to India, please. Yeah.
No, you guys don't do that. Do the real work. Okay.
Yeah. Jump in.
Jump right in. Take the leap, let yourself just go right into the fire. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. This was awesome.
It's just been so incredible, like you said, to witness. I know you've seen me transform so much in the
Big
last few
time.
years since we've
You
met.
were in Mexico partying when I met you. Okay.
How's that those sex parties? I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. So things have
I actually
changed.
never went to them.
Yeah, I make that clear.
Yeah, no, it's just been so different. We're so much more grounded. This conversation was so grounded. I think it's really important to ground spiritual truth, to not try to overshoot where you are at in your journey. This isn't about, being completely desireless, unless if that is your path. But that also takes a lot of reverence. It takes a lot of, you actually have to do it. You know what I mean? You can't just pretend like you're doing it. So thank you so much, Pritesh, for always keeping it real. I always love our conversations, and I can't wait for more of them to come.
Thanks for having me. This
If
was awesome.
anybody would like to follow you, support you on your journey, I forgot to mention Pritesh is an actor, stand-up comedian. Amazing. I know you're working on other projects as well. So if they want to follow you, where can they do that?
At the Pritesh Shah. You'll probably tag me on the bottom.
Yeah, learn how to spell it.
Yeah, the right way.
That's Indian names. Okay, thank you. All right.